Good morning. Greetings, everyone. My name is Dr. Robert Mugo. I am an academician, a financial analyst, and a CPA. Today, I want us to learn about the various investment opportunities or platforms that people of various ages could make. I will break down the age groups into up to 29 years, from 30 to 39 years, from 40 to 60 years, and then above 60 years. I will start with the first category, up to 29 years. This could be school-going students, or could be people who have just started their family life, or people who have just started employment. At this level, it is a high learning opportunity. When you are in university, you depend on funding, maybe from the parent, you depend on funding from the higher education loans. At this level, you need to learn about how to spend. Don't be very quick to indulge in spending that has not been budgeted. Once you start your employment, at this level, you find your expenses are quite low. Though your income is not as high, you may find up to 29 years, somebody could comfortably stay in a bedsitter. Even a young couple can stay in a bedsitter. Maybe they are earning two incomes. The only rent is for a bedsitter, depending on the various locations in this country. Bedsitters may not be that expensive. At this level, you need to know you grow or you invest into your career. If you can be able to go do an additional course, you can be able to do an extra degree, do it at this level. If you can be able to gain experience in your area or the area that you desire, you can go for that, because it will help you in your later years. The next category, so this 20 to 29 years is a high risk, because you still have young age on your side. You can be able to start all over again. So I would advise an investor at this level, take high risk investments, because you can be able to afford to lose. 30 to 39 years, probably you have kids that are now in the way. That bedsitter that you are staying is probably too small. Depending on your income level, you may move to a 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom. Depending also on your income level, you may bring in a house help or so. When you do this, you have an extra mouth to feed, extra utilities to pay, and so the expenses increase at a very high rate from that age group of 20 to 29 now to 30 to 39. Towards the end of this age group, you may find, basing on the average, most Kenyans, their children have started going to school. An additional expense has come in. This expense is called school fees. School fees comes with school transport, buying school fees, buying school uniform, paying the admission fees. So the expenses are quite high. But this category of people, since they are still young in their careers, their growth in their income levels is also very high. You may find this person, if they started working at 26 years and now they are 35 years, probably their level of income is 3 or even 4 times what they were earning at 25. Most of the people in this country may be thinking at this level, 30 to 39, to invest in their own homes. You buy a plot, build, you may be starting a business here and there. You still have that muscle. If your time allows, you can have some side hustles that will generate you some income here and there. Now from 30 to 39, we go to the income level of the age group 40 to 60 years. At this age group, you are in your midlife. And midlife may bring in things called midlife crisis. You may see that you have not achieved this, you have not achieved this, and it starts haunting you. At the same age, you have your expenses are very high. You have children who are now into high school or university. The fees in this country to pay a self-sponsored program, if you wanted to take them to a university abroad, the expenses are very high. So if somebody was not able to invest in an income generating project in that age of 30 to 39, you may find at this level it is not possible. Again, this age of 40 to 60, your income level may be growing, but not at the same rate as it was in your 30 to 39. So expenses here are very high, and incomes, as much as they may be growing, they may not be growing at the same rate. At this age, you may not afford to take high risks. So my advice is slow down on risky projects. The next age level is 60 and above. In Kenya, you know the retirement age is 60 years. So people who have attained this age 60 and above may be receiving their pension income. If one was lucky to have already invested in their homes in the previous ages, I would advise you on your pension, take a project that you have experience. Let's say, for me, I do not know anything about camel farming. I cannot decide when I hit 60 years, I want to buy 20 or 50 camels, which I have no idea. Invest in something that you have experience. Either it was your side hustle in the earlier years or so on. If you are not so lucky to have invested in your own home, probably this age is when somebody will invest in their home. And that brings in pension. In Kenya, though there are those who are employed in private enterprises and government enterprises. Those who are employed in private enterprises, you may find most organizations, I'm not saying all, may not have that pension, the one that you get paid every month. So that one you will depend probably on those side hustles that you had. If you are in a government employment and you use your pension lump sum to invest in your home, this annuity, or the one that comes every year, may not be big enough to take care of you. Probably you may find it is a third of your basic pay. So at this point, I would advise you take a project that is not risky. For now, I will stop at this. Should you want to learn more, go to my channel. We keep on educating each other about financial literacy simplified. Enjoy your day.